Hey everybody, this is Ori from OneScales, and in today's video, I'm going to showcase to you some research I've been doing, something I've been thinking about for a long time, which is to show you guys do pop-ups, banners, bars, spin the wheels, get a coupon, all these things that kind of pop up for you from a marketing standpoint. Do they affect your PageSpeed Insights score, your Google Speed score, your Lighthouse score, or your Core Web Vital score, which all of those three things are basically the same thing. What does that mean? This score is a score that Google gives you in order to measure how fast your website performs, the performance, and how good of a user experience is it for users that visit your page. This is a score from 1 to 100 for mobile and desktop, and it's per page, right? So if you have 1,000, for each page you have on the website, it's per page, right? So the higher score you have, the better user experience, the better it'll be for your SEO. But most importantly, it's better for user experience for users that visit your website. So what I wanted to try to do is make some data, do some research, figure out if you add all these things. For example, I added a pop-up to the website, I added a spin the wheel, get a coupon, I added a bar, and I added a few more things. Do they affect your score? And so let's look at the data, let's look at the simple answer, and let's look at the nuanced, detailed answer, and a little bit insight if I can provide. Okay, so what did I do here? I made a research here. This is before I added all of these marketing things right here, the pop-up, the banners, the spin the wheel, the bar, the top bar, etc. And then I did 4 other tests. I did with a basic pop-up, a top bar banner, which you saw here, a pop-up banner with a countdown, spin the wheel, get your coupon. So I added a few things, and each one of these, the befores and each specific marketing tool, I tested it 4 times. I wanted to show you, make sure there's no kind of inconsistency, do some averages, things like that. So very simply put, from a desktop page speed score, depending on the app, there's not really much of a difference from the desktop score. But on mobile, you'll see that this is before, and then you'll see other than this app, the score goes really, really low just based on one app, one functionality. So I'm going to look at these a little bit later, but I want to give you the simple answer to this video, which is, do pop-ups, bars, and spin the wheels affect the Core Web Vital score? The simple answer is yes, mostly for mobile. And desktop doesn't, but the detailed answer is it really depends on the app, the functionality, the code that was written, because based on different apps, for example, this one did really, really well. It doesn't really affect the score too much. It does affect a little bit, but it seems to be written in a good way, giving you good functionality to help your business, your website, but doesn't affect the score too much. Okay. Other than that, these other apps that I tested, for example, they actually affect the score a lot. So let's look at the details, and we'll conclude after this. So as you can see, the higher the better, right? So mobile is obviously pretty close to the other ones, other than this app, which is really affecting the speed. For mobile, you'll see the higher is the better, and you'll see other than this app, they're going very low. Now, for all of these specific FCP, SI, LCP, what does that mean? Very simply, if you look at the score, Google tries to take these metrics and rank the website from the user experience. So how long did it take to load the beginning, the first element of the page before the whole website loaded? For example, right here, you start to see the first part right here, and then you start to see the whole website is actually loading. The speed index, how long did it take to load? The largest contentful paint, LCP, which is kind of typically the big banner. How long does it take to load the biggest element that you can see? Time to interaction, how long to allow the customer to actually, or the visitor to actually use the website, click around, do things. Blocking time, do JavaScript or CSS or other things block other things from loading. And then the CLS, which is, does the layout shift? Once it loaded, is there something that's moving things around that makes it a little awkward with a website, like a pop-up? Is it kind of interfering with the user experience? Okay, so very simply put, you'll see that the lower score, the better, right? So before, almost everything was better, actually. And then you'll see the FCP is getting almost the same, but slightly more right here. The SI is growing a lot depending on the app, right? So the lower, the better. And you'll see all of them, other than this app, which is doing pretty good, they're all much, much worse, much, much worse. You'll see 4, and then you'll see 495, and then 5, 7, 15, 9. Total blocking time, 340, and then higher and higher, and then the CLS is not affected too much other than this app. So really simply put, the detail is, very simply, it really depends on the app. This app is doing really good. It's not affecting the score too much. I would say this is a really good app to use from the performance speed index, not from functionality. So let's try to conclude this, try to give a little insight about this thing. So the simple answer is, do pop-ups, bars, and spin the wheels affect? The answer is yes. Desktop in general, not too much. Mobile, definitely a lot. And some of the details, the website is slower. Obviously, when you add new functionality, there's more things to download. The website is slower because there's more things to do, right, on the website. There's more HTML, etc., JavaScript. But the detail is, I think the most important thing is it really depends on which app you use, because some apps are coded better, they're faster, they're more lightweight, they do things better. So I would say try to find an app that has a better score to help you both give the functionality you need for your business and for your customers and not ruin your score. That's basically it, very simply. So I think one more insight that's not related to the numbers I want to provide. Over time, we've tried to get very high scores for a lot of our projects, a lot of our websites, very high scores on desktop and mobile, etc. But in general, the scores are not unless you have a very bad website, a very slow website, the scores don't really seem to affect your rankings, at least in a noticeable way. So what I would say is, if the functionality is not affecting your score too much, and it provides something good for the business and your users, I would say don't worry about the speed. If the speed gets affected by, 1%, 5%, even 10% maximum, I would say use it as long as it's good for the business, good for the customers. But if it affects a lot, I would be more worried. For example, this one affects, from 75, you got a 42. Maybe that's not that good. Maybe you can find another app that does better. Maybe this one, for example. Now, I'm not affiliated with any of these apps. All I try to do is find some apps that provide marketing tools that are fairly popular that a lot of businesses use to try to give some numbers and detail. So that's it, very simply. If you have any questions, you're not sure about this detail, and I haven't made new videos yet, please ask in the comments. We're here to make a community, to share detail, to take things that we think about, and we spend time every day to give more insight for you guys to make better decisions, to save time, to do better. I really appreciate the videos. If you have any questions, again, ask. Say hello, subscribe, like, just ask. We comment. We try to respond as quick as we can to everything. Much appreciated. Appreciate you guys watching the videos, and we'll be making more and more. Thanks.